The night was quiet, almost too quiet. A soft wind moved through the trees, carrying the faint scent of earth and grass. In a small suburb, the lights in most houses had gone out and the streets were empty. But one figure moved steadily along the sidewalk, her footsteps light, almost floating. She was unlike any human who had ever walked these streets. Her skin had a subtle glow and her eyes reflected the stars above. She was young, beautiful and calm, and she carried with her a small artifact that hummed quietly in her hand. She stopped in front of a modest house. The door was simple, painted white with a small wreath hanging in the center. She raised her hand and knocked. The sound was soft, but it echoed in the still night. She waited. Inside, a man stirred from his sleep. He was tired from a long day at work, but something about the knock felt different. He opened the door slowly and saw her standing there. Her presence was quiet but powerful. He could not explain why, but he felt drawn to her. "Hello," she said softly. Her voice was calm, almost musical. "I am looking for someone, a human. Someone special." The man frowned slightly. "Special? You mean like a friend?" She shook her head gently. "No, someone who can help me. My world, it is in danger. I need a human who has courage and kindness. Someone who can make a difference." The man blinked, confused. "Your world? Are you an alien?" She nodded. "Yes, I have traveled far to find this person. I cannot explain everything now, but I must find him. I will not give up." For a moment, the man simply stared at her. The night air felt heavy with meaning. He did not know whether to fear her or to trust her, but there was something in her eyes, something honest and calm, that made him lower his defenses. I don't know if I can help," he said softly. "You already are helping, simply by listening," she replied. Then, without another word, she turned and continued down the street, leaving him staring at the empty road where she had been. This was not the first house she had visited, and it would not be the last. For 3 years, she had traveled across cities, towns, and villages. She had knocked on doors, spoken to humans, observed them, and learned about them. Some had been kind, offering her food or shelter. Others had been skeptical or afraid, closing their doors without a word. But she never gave up. Her mission was clear. She had to find the one human whose heart and mind were strong enough to help save her people. She moved silently through the streets, passing by children playing in quiet yards and elderly couples sitting by their windows. She watched people carefully, seeing the small acts of kindness they did without thinking. She noticed a young woman helping her neighbor carry groceries, a man rescuing a cat stuck in a tree, and a boy comforting a lost dog. These moments were small, but they were meaningful. She recorded them in her mind, knowing that each act revealed something important about humanity. Her journey was not easy. The streets were full of challenges. She had to navigate traffic, avoid suspicion, and sometimes deal with people who were hostile or frightened. Once, in a busy city, she had to dodge a group of people who wanted to capture her for curiosity or profit. She moved with speed and grace, escaping without harm. In these moments, she realized that humans were unpredictable, but that unpredictability also carried courage and resilience. At night, she rested in quiet parks or abandoned buildings, meditating and planning her next steps. She thought about her people, their fading world, and the responsibility that weighed on her shoulders. Time was short. If she did not find the right human soon, her world might be lost forever. During her travels, she learned to appreciate humanity in ways she had never imagined. Humans could be selfish, yes, but they could also be brave, clever, and compassionate. She began to understand that the human spirit was unique. It was not just strength or intelligence that mattered, but the choices humans made, the kindness they showed, and the courage they displayed in difficult moments. One evening, in a quiet suburb far from the city lights, she paused at the edge of a small park. The air was cool and the stars were bright above. She saw a man jogging along the path, greeting people politely as he passed. She watched him for a while, noting the way he helped a child who had fallen, how he spoke kindly to an elderly woman walking her dog, and how he picked up trash without complaint. There was something about him that felt different, something that spoke of courage and goodness. She knew she had to meet him. Her heart told her that he might be the one she had been searching for all these years. But she also knew that she could not simply ask. She had to observe him carefully, to see if he truly possessed the qualities she needed. The next day, she followed him at a distance, learning about his life. She saw that he was honest in his work, respected his neighbors, and treated everyone with kindness. He faced challenges with patience and courage, never giving up even when situations were difficult. Every small action he took reinforced what she already suspected. He was extraordinary. But finding the right human was not just about observing bravery or kindness. She needed to see how he reacted in unexpected situations, how he handled moral dilemmas, and whether he could act selflessly when no one was watching. She set up subtle tests, small scenarios that allowed her to watch his character. One day she left a lost wallet on a bench where he would find it. She watched from a distance as he picked it up and carefully returned it to its owner, refusing any reward. Another time, she created a situation where a stray dog was in danger near a busy street. He rushed to save it without hesitation. Each time she felt more certain that he was the human she had been seeking. Even with these tests, she did not rush. Her mission had taken 3 years and she had learned patience. She knew that the right human would reveal himself naturally through his actions, not through words or promises. And so she continued her journey, knocking on doors, helping humans in quiet ways, and observing the small but powerful moments that showed their true character. Her travels also brought her moments of reflection. She thought about her world, a place of advanced technology and great knowledge, but one that could not survive without the courage and ingenuity of another species. She realized that humans had something her people lacked, a combination of hope, resilience, and moral strength that could inspire even the most advanced civilizations. At times, she felt lonely. Traveling alone for years, seeing countless humans but knowing that only one could fulfill her mission, weighed heavily on her. Yet she never let despair take hold. Every human she met taught her something new, and every act of kindness or courage strengthened her resolve. As the first part of her journey drew to a close, she finally reached the quiet suburb where the extraordinary human lived. She had heard of him not through rumors or stories, but through the subtle ways his actions had been noticed by others. His courage, honesty, and kindness had left traces that even she, far from Earth, could sense. She stood outside his house one evening, looking at the door. Her mission had brought her here after 3 long years of travel. She felt a mix of anticipation and calm. She knew that the next knock might be the most important of her life. She raised her hand and gently knocked on the door, just as she had done so many times before. Inside, the human stirred. He opened the door slowly, just as the first human had 3 years ago. But this time there was something different. The air felt charged with possibility. Something extraordinary was about to happen. The alien woman smiled softly. She knew that her search might finally be over. She did not yet know if he would pass the final tests, but she felt a deep certainty that this human was unlike any she had met before. For the first time in years, hope filled her heart. The man looked at her, seeing not just an alien but a presence that carried patience, wisdom, and determination. He felt no fear, only curiosity and a strange sense of calm. "Can I help you?" he asked, unaware of the full magnitude of her mission. "You already are helping," she replied softly, her eyes reflecting the stars. "And soon I will need your courage in ways you cannot yet imagine." The night held its breath and the quiet suburb seemed to fade into the background. The story of a journey that had lasted 3 years was reaching a turning point. The alien mother, who had knocked on every human door searching for the one, was finally standing before him, and in that moment the possibility of hope, courage, and unity stretched across the stars, waiting to be realized. The man stood at his doorway, unsure what to make of the alien woman in front of him. Her presence was calm, yet it carried a quiet power that made him instinctively trust her. He had lived a simple life, helping his neighbors, caring for those around him, and yet in her eyes, he saw a reflection of something greater, something that connected him to a purpose he had never known existed. "I am looking for someone," she said again, her voice gentle but firm. "Someone who can help my world survive. I have traveled far and met many humans, but I believe you may be the one I need." The man took a deep breath. "Help your world? I don't even know where to start." "You will," she replied. "But first I need to see who you truly are. Not by words, but by your actions." For the next few days she stayed nearby, observing him quietly. She did not force herself into his life, but created subtle opportunities to see how he would react. One morning, as he walked to the corner store, she noticed a child chasing a runaway ball into a busy street. Without thinking, he ran forward, scooped the child up, and returned him safely to the sidewalk. She made a note of his instinctive courage. Later, she arranged for a stray dog to appear on his path, trapped and frightened near a small creek. The man carefully freed the dog, wrapping it in his jacket to keep it warm. He found the dog's owner and returned it safely, refusing any thanks or reward. Each time she felt a growing certainty that he embodied the qualities she had been searching for: courage, compassion, and selflessness. But she did not reveal herself fully. Her tests were small, almost invisible, yet deliberate. She wanted to see if he would act without expecting anything in return. Humans could be unpredictable, and she had learned over her 3-year journey that the smallest actions often revealed the deepest character. One evening, as the sun set behind the distant hills, she finally approached him directly. He was sitting on a park bench watching the golden light fade across the horizon. She sat beside him, keeping a respectful distance, and said, "You have shown me who you are. But there is one more thing I must know. Can you face challenges that are beyond your understanding? Can you act when the stakes are higher than anything you have faced before?" The man looked at her, feeling a strange calm. "I don't know what you mean," he said, "but I think I can try. If it is the right thing to do," she smiled, a quiet, sincere smile. "That may be enough." She explained to him the situation of her world. Her planet had been a place of advanced knowledge and great civilizations, but it faced a crisis that only a unique human could help solve. The human mind, she explained, combined with the ingenuity and courage she had seen in him, could turn the tide. She did not ask for miracles. She asked for collaboration, for his heart and mind to meet her technology and knowledge halfway. At first, the man was overwhelmed. The weight of responsibility pressed on him, but he did not falter. He asked questions, seeking to understand, and she answered patiently. Every explanation revealed the urgency and complexity of the situation. Yet she could see that despite fear or doubt, he was willing to act, willing to take responsibility for something much greater than himself. The first real test came when a simulation was created, an emergency scenario that mirrored the dangers her people faced. The man was guided through a series of choices, each requiring strategy, empathy, and courage. He acted decisively, prioritizing lives over convenience and showing an instinctive understanding of morality and leadership. She watched silently, her heart quietly swelling with hope. In the following days, he encountered situations that tested his patience and intellect. A minor accident at a local construction site required him to organize rescue and safety measures. A sudden neighborhood fire prompted him to coordinate neighbors and emergency services. In every instance, he acted without seeking reward or recognition. These were small events by human standards, but for her, they were proof that he could rise to challenges far greater than anything she had yet revealed. She began to teach him about her technology, explaining in simple ways how their combined efforts could stabilize her world. They worked together to modify devices, calibrate instruments, and simulate solutions. The man's intelligence, creativity, and patience amazed her. She realized that humans had something unique: the ability to adapt, to think beyond the given rules, and to act with courage under pressure. Their bond grew quietly, not through words of romance, but through mutual respect and shared purpose. They learned from each other. He learned to understand her ways, her technology, and her culture. She learned to appreciate human resilience, ingenuity, and compassion in ways that no one in her world could have taught her. One night, as they worked under the stars, she finally spoke about her feelings. "I have traveled far, faced challenges, and seen countless humans," she said. "But your actions, your choices, and your heart, they have shown me what I was searching for. You are the one who can help me save my world." The man nodded, feeling the weight of her words. "I want to help," he said. "I don't know everything, but I will do my best." The following weeks were intense. Together, they coordinated efforts to stabilize her planet's systems from afar, using her advanced technology and his strategic thinking. Every decision required patience, precision, and courage. Challenges arose constantly, testing their limits. But each time he acted with clarity and integrity, earning her complete trust. As their mission progressed, she realized something extraordinary. His courage was not just physical or intellectual, but moral. He could make choices that were difficult, that required sacrifice, yet he did so without hesitation. In him, she saw the potential of humanity, the ability to rise above fear, to act for the greater good, and to inspire others simply through example. The final stage of their mission required direct action on her planet. She explained the risks, but he accepted them calmly. Together, they traveled to her world, navigating the challenges of space travel and unfamiliar technology. He adapted quickly, learning to maneuver devices and systems that had been alien to him. His focus, patience, and ingenuity impressed her beyond measure. When they arrived on her planet, they faced the ultimate test, a complex network of systems failing simultaneously. It required teamwork, problem-solving, and courage. He led decisively, making split-second decisions that preserved critical systems while ensuring the safety of her people. She followed his lead when necessary, and together they restored stability. In the quiet aftermath, as the sky of her planet glowed softly with the returning light of life, she looked at him with deep respect. "You have done more than I could have hoped for," she said. "Your courage, kindness, and intelligence have saved my people. You have proven that humanity has something extraordinary." He smiled, tired but calm. "I did what I could. I only followed what seemed right." "You did more than follow," she replied. "You inspired. You showed that even a human can make a difference across the stars. You have reminded me that hope, courage, and integrity are universal strengths, not bound by species." The people of her planet welcomed him with gratitude and admiration. He was a human, yet in their eyes he embodied the qualities of a leader, a protector, and a symbol of hope. And though he had faced challenges beyond any human experience, he remained humble, recognizing that true courage was not about glory, but about action and heart. In the weeks that followed, she and he worked to ensure the long-term stability of her world. Humans and aliens collaborated in ways never before imagined. He taught them patience, empathy, and ingenuity, while they shared their advanced knowledge and technology. Together they formed a bond that bridged worlds, proving that cooperation and understanding could overcome even the greatest challenges. One evening, standing beneath the stars of her planet, she spoke again. "I searched for 3 years to find you. Not because you are the strongest or the fastest, but because you are human. Your heart, your choices, and your courage are what made you the one who could help." He looked at her, humbled. "I never thought someone like me could make a difference. But I have learned that being human is enough. Courage, kindness, and hope can reach farther than we ever imagine." She smiled, a quiet, satisfied smile. "Yes, humanity has strength that is rare yet essential. And now, because of you, my people have a chance to thrive again." The story ended not with a battle or a victory in the usual sense, but with the quiet triumph of courage, compassion, and intelligence. One human had risen to meet a challenge beyond his world, and in doing so, had reminded an alien civilization, and himself, of the power and potential of humanity. The man returned to his own world eventually, carrying memories, knowledge, and experiences that no other human had. But his story, and the story of the alien mother who had knocked on every human door for 3 years, remained a testament to the strength of the human spirit. Across the stars, he had proven that courage, kindness, and hope were universal qualities capable of changing worlds, and in the end, the alien woman, who had traveled for years searching for the one human, found not just a helper, but a symbol of humanity's greatest potential. She had knocked on countless doors, faced countless challenges, and yet she had succeeded, because sometimes the greatest power in the universe is the quiet strength of a single human heart.